Night 2 of the Democratic National Convention, more direct attacks on the president by the keynote speakers. So let's talk about all the pros and cons of that strategy with tonight's panel. Fox News contributors Leslie Marshall, Charlie Hurt, and Katie Pavlich. Welcome, guys. Good to have you.
Thanks, Shannon. Good to see you.
Okay, so we had each of you pick a moment that was important or stood out to you for some reason. So let's start with Katie's pick. This is former Secretary John Kerry.
Before Donald Trump, we used to talk about American exceptionalism. The only thing exceptional about the incoherent Trump foreign policy is that it has made our nation more isolated than ever before. Joe Biden knows we aren't exceptional because we bluster that we are. We are exceptional because we do exceptional things.
Katie, I know from your reaction after his speech that you had some issues with it. Why'd you pick this clip?
Well, first of all, President Obama didn't believe in American exceptionalism. He said that we're exceptional just like the Greeks are exceptional. But the idea that John Kerry gave that speech and pretty much every single line that he said was full of falsehoods and lies needs to be addressed because it's about foreign policy, and being the commander-in-chief is it is the most important thing to protect the American homeland from enemies. And to say that the United States is now isolated just isn't true. I mean, the United States is convinced countries, our allies in Europe, that Huawei is bad for business, that China is a major threat. We've been able to push off Iran by this major UAE-Israel peace deal, with Saudi Arabia probably coming here in the next couple of months, right along with that. I mean, this idea that the president has somehow put the United States into a position where it is a less peaceful world and we are isolated just isn't the case. And when it comes to the China issue, we didn't hear anything from John Kerry about the threat from China as a result of what they're doing at our universities, the spying that's going on, not to mention the outbreak of COVID-19 all across the world. So this idea that he was saying the United States is isolated and the president isn't engaged in American exceptionalism just isn't true.
Okay, let's go on to Leslie's pick tonight. The top Democrats in the Senate, Chuck Schumer. Here's what he said.
Millions are jobless. 170,000 Americans have died from COVID. And Donald Trump says it is what it is. President should never say it is what it is. America, Donald Trump has quit on you.
Leslie, I got to be honest, most of what I've heard the last two nights has been how terrible Donald Trump is, which any party is going to make that case against the opposing party. But what about the rest of the message? What the plan is, something hopeful or inspirational? Why did you pick this from the Democratic leader in the Senate?
I picked this because the number one reason that most Democrats are going to vote for Joe Biden in November, it's not the economy. It's not healthcare. It's not even COVID, although this election is a referendum on COVID and this pandemic. It's more a referendum on Donald Trump. And they want to make Donald Trump a one-term president. When I heard Senator Schumer say that, and then I heard later Jacqueline, the security guard in the elevator, say about Joe Biden, quote, "He really saw me." That's what I sense my fellow Democrats want. They want to be seen. They want to be heard. They have fears with COVID. They have fears with unemployment. They have fears about lack of unity in this country. They have fears about racial injustice. They feel like the sky is falling, and they want the assurance that somebody is going to hold it up. Somebody is going to have their back. Somebody isn't going to quit on them. That's why I picked this one.
Okay, Charlie, let's go to you. Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the left, very angry that she only got 60 seconds. But here is part of those 60 seconds.
Thank you to everyone here today endeavoring towards a better, more just future, a movement striving to recognize and repair the wounds of racial injustice, colonization, misogyny, and homophobia, and to propose and build reimagined systems of immigration and foreign policy that turn away from the violence and xenophobia. I hereby second the nomination of Senator Bernard Sanders of Vermont.
All right, Charlie, explain your pick.
Well, I'm not exactly sure what she was saying right there. But I do think that it's interesting that, and I think the left is probably justified in being upset about the short amount of time that she got. She got a smidgen of the time that, say, John Kasich, a Republican from Ohio, got last night during the convention. But this effort to sort of paper over these vast differences between where all the energy in the Democratic Party is on the left and what Joe Biden represents right now, it's a real tall order. And I think Leslie is right. I think that the Democrats are mostly motivated by their disdain for Donald Trump, their hatred of Donald Trump. It's sort of a blinding, raging hatred for him that doesn't usually work very well in elections. And the problem here is that you have people like AOC and Bernie Sanders who actually really do stand for things, and they really do believe things. It's nuts. It's totally crazy, but they believe in things, and that's the animated part of the party. But trying to get to fit Joe Biden into that tent is kind of impossible. And I thought there was a striking moment last night when Michelle Obama gave what I think is so far probably been the most unifying speech, or not most unifying, but the most high-profile speech of the last two nights, where she kind of took a dig at Bernie Sanders and AOC about how this is not a time to waste our time with people who can't get elected to anything. That was a real dig at people like AOC and all of her ideas.
Well, she has gotten herself elected, and a number of the people that she backed in the primaries unseated incumbents this time around. The squad is growing and probably will continue to grow after the election this fall. So the party has a lot to manage there with that wing and with those who would say that Joe Biden is truly a moderate, that he's not going to pull this country to the super far left if he gets elected. Although there are those who are helping him put together his plans who say, we hope we can pull him that way. So we'll see. All right, night 2 is in the books. Leslie, Charlie, and Katie, thanks for being up with us.
Thanks, Shannon.
Thank you.